the yoga machine. First, you start off with the blade, and then you put these two plastic pieces on here. The blade scrapers. These two plastic pieces are called blade scrapers. You stick it on like this. You have to make sure that the ends are properly secured in the metal pieces. Sometimes you might have a hard time putting these on, so you'll have to like rotate them around or switch them on the other sides. There are two of these. One goes on each side of the machine. So this is the first one. You do the second one the same way. If you have any problems with these plastic pieces, these scrapers, just flip them around. Sometimes they might get old and you'll have to ask the manager to bring you, or may you have two new scrapers for the machine. You're going to have to use this lube for the machine to make the parts go by. It makes the machine run smoothly. You have two shaft beaters and two O-rings that go around the shaft beater. With the shaft beaters, you take a little bit of the wax, and there's like a little line up to here, and you just put the wax up to that line. You do the same for the second one. Also, with these O-rings, you need to make sure you lube them up too. Then you put the O-ring on top of the thingy, and you put wax in the inside of the cup right here, and you have to make sure you fill it up with the wax. Insert these into the machine. There's a hole in the back of the machine. You make sure you wait until you hear the clicking sound, and you're going to do that on both sides. Then you insert the blades, one on each side, and you have to make sure that it's lined up with the thingy in the back, and you have to insert that and push it all the way back until you hear the click sound also. These three trays go on the outside of the machine. They like catch the ice cream drippings that come from the inside of the machine. The long one goes in the front, and these two short ones, one goes on each side. This is the front piece to the machine. These two O-rings, they go right here, and this part right here. And you also put wax on these to make sure that they hold on to place. You have to make sure you put it evenly on there so it can stay to the machine. If not, it'll accidentally slip off and it'll go into one of the blades, and it can freeze up your yoga machine and waste product. The bearing fronts, these two pieces, they have to go on top of here after you put the O-rings on. Insert these two plugs on the top of the face of the machine. Right here, you have to put these in the face of the machine before you screw on the front. If not, you'll have to take the whole front off and then put it in there. Then you stick the face of the machine on. There are 4 screws. The screws are kind of backwards. The long ones always go up top, and the short ones go down the bottom. You can do a cattle corner, one long one up top, and then one short one in this corner. It's also a good idea to always have like extra napkins or a dry rag, because after dealing with the grease, your hands will be like real greasy. And it might feel like you have it screwed on tight, but it really won't be. Also, always check under here to make sure that your black O-rings aren't hanging out, because if they're hanging out, product will also leak from under there. These three right here, they help dispense the ice cream. This one right here is specially designed just for the middle, so you can have a swirl. Whenever you put the wax on, you don't have to put the wax on all the way up here. You just have to put it on the O-rings. That makes sure that the ice cream will smoothly come out and that the tubes won't get stuck in the machine. And you just insert the specially designed one in the middle. The other two, it doesn't matter which one you put in. Next, you put your handles in. All the handles fit all the inserts. You stick this cord in next, and you just run it all the way through. You put these under the bottom. They help the ice cream, the frozen yogurt come out with its pretty design. This is your ice cream tray for the drippings, because the next step, you have to sanitize the machine. You can get your old soup pan and one packet of Triplet Plus. This is a sanitizer. Even though the machine was sanitized the night before, you still sanitize it the next day. You pour this in, take a spoon, and you stir it around until the mixture seems like it's mixed in well. Cut the machine on, and you hit the water sign on the machine, the faucet sign, and you evenly put this on both sides of the machine. The spouts on the machine mean wash. You can just leave it in there for like a minute or two, and that'll give you time to set up your ice cream cones or your sprinkles and your bowls. Also, one thing about this machine, you can put the machine on wash on one side without it being on wash on the other. But with the initial setup, you have to wash both sides. You run the sanitizer back throughout. I need some clean water. And any germs or whatever else was left over, the sanitizer will help cleanse out. When you're finished running the sanitizer through, always remember to cut the machine off when you're not using it. Get you some more clean, warm water, just plain clean water. And again, you put the machine on wash. And you evenly put water on each side. You can just let that run through some. And you run your clean water through the machine. You can tell that your machine's set up properly because you don't have any water leaking from the back. Everything's running okay, there are no noises. After this step, you go to the back in the dairy cooler and you have to get a case of each yogurt mix that you're going to use. So for instance, if you want to do vanilla and chocolate, you would get a case. That's 6 cartons in each case. So you would get 1 case of vanilla and 1 case of chocolate. And you will put your vanilla mix in on one side and your chocolate mix on the other side. Then you will put the machine on wash for 5 minutes just in case if there are any ice particles in the frozen yogurt. After that 5 minutes, you take it off wash. And you have to pay attention very closely to these tubes. When you're using the yogurt machine, you have to make sure that the holes are down. And this part is up like this. And you insert this rod into the inside of the machine. And then you will hit the snowflake button. You would do the same on this side. When you put your chocolate in, you will also put it on wash for a few minutes and you will stick your tube in, but you have to be careful and make sure that the holes are always down. And you insert the rod into the hole. After you do that, you put your lids on your yogurt machine. Push the machine back. Make sure you have the correct signs up here for the yogurts. And you hit the snowflakes and you're ready to go. They break it down every 36 to 48 hours. So when you start off, you're going to take your machine off a snowflake and you're going to put it on the faucet signs, the rinse. Take your Lexan pan and you're going to drain all your product out. Just hold down your nozzles like this and all your froyo will come out of the machine. To make the process a little faster, you can take these tubes out and the mix will come out a little faster. You can put your lids on the bottom of your cart. This light indicates that your mix is running low, and this icon over here displays that all of your mixes ran out. So you're going to lift your handles back up, take it off wash, get your bucket of warm water and your packet of Triplet Plus sanitizer, put it in the bucket. Oh shit. Get your spoon, stir it very well, push the wash button again, pour your sanitizer mix inside the machine. Just let it run through for a few minutes. And then you let your product come out into your Lexan pan. When you're breaking down the machine, it's a good idea to have 3 Lexan pans. 1 pan for the product, the waste to go into, another pan for your parts, and your 3rd pan for your clean parts after you wash them. So this is your Lexan pan for your dirty parts. Okay, now that we've ran our sanitizer through, we put the machine back on wash and we're going to go for our second rinse with just clear water. You take your bar towel. While your water is running through, you can hold your knobs down and you make sure that you wipe real good and you clean the sensor very good to get all the leftover froyo mix out the inside of the machine. And you have to do the same thing on both sides. You have to pay very close attention to the sensor.
To go through the tear down of this machine, what you do is first you have to get all the mix out of it. The easiest way to do that is to run it in wash. To go through the tear down of this machine, what you do is first you have to get all the mix out of it. The easiest way to do that is to run it in wash mode. On your control up here, it's got a little picture of the faucet. When you push that, you can hear the motor start up. All of that's doing is turning that beater inside. No refrigeration whatsoever. By running that in the spiral shape of the blades, helps force everything out of the front. You just hold the handles down, and you can see the little bit of water still running out of it. All right. Once that's all out of there, close those, turn both those off. All right. To remove the front door, you've got 4 hand screws. Always do the hand screws in opposite corners. One top and one bottom, top and a bottom. The reason for that is and always loosen them up about a half a turn at a time until they're actually loose.
I have a question.
Yep.
Before they actually turn the wash on, should we have these turned off?
Okay, it won't go into wash with that on.
I don't know how he got it in. He had both of them.
Interchangeable. Probably when he filled it back up with sanitizer water and he was going to run wash mode, he hit that by mistake. Since that sensor in there is covered, it'll turn itself on in auto and try and freeze it. Once you get these loose, then you can just sit and unscrew them. Always keep a hand up against this. This is called the front door assembly. That front door assembly is a little over $800. If it falls on the floor, you order another one. Take those 4 screws off, grab it, and pull straight out. And it comes straight out. The 2 metal bars on here are referred to as trombones simply because of their shape. On there you've got 2 front door bearings. All of that bearing does is holds that beater centered so that it doesn't scrape against the sides of the barrel. And you've got the 2 rubber gaskets. To remove the beaters, you simply grab them and pull. Always set the beaters somewhere where they can't roll off of. Don't set them on a counter. If they roll off the counter and land on the floor, you're ordering another beater because it will bend when it hits. Take both the beaters out. And back in the back, you've got drive shafts. Of course, we just greased those, so they're a little tough to get a hold of. And the drive shaft just pulls straight out. On the drive shaft, you've got a black rubber seal referred to as a rear boot seal. You've got a drive shaft in each side. Okay. When you get ready to clean it, take these off, clean everything separate. On your beater, you've got a plastic scraper blade. They just pop off. These are curled because they've been in place. When you get new ones, they'll be straight, and they're really sharp. I always suggest, before you go and try to put new ones on, soak them in hot water for a good 5-10 minutes. That'll soften them up. When you go to stick them on, if you are trying to force that in underneath the little tab that it fits under, and you happen to slide your hand, you'll find out it's sharp enough to cut you, and it will draw blood. On this front door assembly, you get 2 plugs with 2 O-rings. They're referred to as priming plugs. They come out. You get the 3 drawl handles, 3 drawl valves, and there's a rod that holds the handles in place. It's easiest if you go ahead and use the handle to pull that up out of there. Your center drawl valve is different. It's got an H shape to it and a special O-ring. That is the two sides, vanilla and chocolate, or whatever two flavors you have, from mixing. If you happen to put one of these regular drawl valves in there by mistake, whatever's in one side will end up mixing it over into the other side. And the easiest way to fix that is simply get somebody to stuff some epoxy up in there and stick that back on. You don't want to buy one of these. Huh? Originally it does. Apparently somebody got it stripped out. But that handle costs like $98. All right. And again, when you're cleaning it, take the O-rings all off so that you can get all the ice cream mix out of the grooves. All right. That's all there is to the disassembly. You've got a drive shaft in each side. When you get ready to clean it, take these off, clean everything separate. On your beater, you've got a plastic scraper blade. They just pop off. These are curled because they've been in place. When you get new ones, they'll be straight and they're really sharp. I always suggest before you go and try putting new ones on, soak them in hot water for a good 5-10 minutes. That'll soften them up. When you go to stick them on, if you are trying to force that in underneath the little tab that it fits under and you happen to slide your hand, you'll find out it's sharp enough to cut you and it will draw blood. On this front door assembly, you get two plugs with two O-rings. They're referred to as priming plugs. They come out. You get the 3 drawl handles, 3 drawl valves, and there's a rod that holds the handles in place. It's easiest if you go ahead and use the handle to pull that up out of there. Your center drawl valve is different. It's got an H shape to it and a special O-ring. That is the two sides, vanilla and chocolate, or whatever two flavors you have, from mixing. If you happen to put one of these regular drawl valves in there by mistake, whatever's in one side will end up mixing it over into the other side. And the easiest way to fix that is simply get somebody to stuff some epoxy up in there and stick that back on. You don't want to buy one of these. Huh? Originally it does. Apparently somebody got it stripped out. But that handle costs like $98. All right. And again, when you're cleaning it, take the O-rings all off so that you can get all the ice cream mix out of the grooves. All right. That's all there is to the disassembly.
And the last pieces to the yogurt machine, the ice cream dripping trays. You have to get the long one from the front. The short one from this side. And the other short one from this side. And then you go to the back, you find you a sink, and you have your hot soapy water, and then you have your clean rinse water. You wash all your parts very good, make sure you get all the wax off of them. Then you rinse them. Then in your clean Lexan pan, you'll place your clean yogurt machine parts, and then you saran wrap it and bring it out here for the next day of setup.
All right, boys, I'm gonna put my vanilla Dixie cups on flavors and push up to ice cream man. Stop me when the bugs survive.
Hi, my name is Marcia Buttrell, and today I'm going to show you how you troubleshoot the yogurt machine. Very simple process. Okay, today we have to remember, the machine has already been put together, okay? You have all your product within the machine. The machine is on, up and running. Once the machine starts running and you have a problem with your machine and you think your machine is freezing up with the product, you have 2 buttons here on both sides of the top of the machine under the snowflake. Those are called your wash buttons. You need to make sure you keep these in line with each other at all times. Then you have 2 little buckets under each end next to the ice cream cone. Those buttons are to let you know that your machine either is running out of product or your machine is empty. It has a certain beep. You can always hear that beep. Once this machine beeps, it's telling you need to add product to the machine, or you need to just break it down completely because you're completely out of product. Within doing that, with this little first bucket here, will let you know that this is half full. So you go ahead and add some more product to this, okay? This little button here will let you know it's completely empty. So that way you know either you have to make sure you put product in it before it freezes, because once it gets completely empty, the tank will freeze on you. In doing so, if the tank freezes, you have to turn these 2 buttons here, the 2 snowflake buttons, which I call them SEL buttons. You need to turn these 2 buttons off. Once you turn those 2 buttons off, you need to hit both of the wash buttons. Once you hit both of the wash buttons, they will light up. Once these wash buttons light up, that will indicate that you have put the yogurt machine in a different mode, as far as saying throwing it down, unfreezing the tank, and making sure that the product comes back to liquid. You can let this run for about 10 minutes. 10 minutes usually do the trick. Then you come back and you test your product. The reason why I say you test it, because you can always pull the handles down on the machine to see if the machine has come back to liquid. If it has come back to liquid, all you have to do is push your handles up, take it off wash, put it back on your snowflake. Once you put it back on your snowflake, you go back and you look and see, maybe about a couple of minutes or so, that your product has started back to freeze to the consistency that you wanted, and you just pull your handle down again to make sure that your product is coming out in a firm manner. Okay, that's one way of troubleshooting it. The second way of troubleshooting that I found is kind of easy is, and this happened to me, the machine will freeze, the computer will maybe tell you, which is located here, you have a computer dial which in here, well, most of the time you will see